America has spoken, and I'm humbled by the trust and the confidence of my fellow citizens. With that trust comes a duty to serve all Americans, and I will do my best to fulfill that duty every day as your president.
Go.
9/11?
Yeah.
Really? It was such the inside job, not just one. So the conspiracy theory phrase was born by the government people that didn't want anybody to think that anything weird went on. But guess what? Our CIA, our FBI are seriously freaking correct. I just want them to know that if there's top-notch scientists that actually made the steel for the Twin Towers, stating that that steel would never and could never be melted or incinerated with jet fuel, that's scientific proof.
The way these buildings came down, that can be easily explained by the use of explosives. And not a single one of them can be explained without the use of explosives. So the fact that they came down at virtually free fall speed, that there was molten metal under the buildings. Molten metal needs temperatures far exceeding what fire can reach. Furthermore, the buildings came straight down. That's the whole purpose of controlled demolition of the type that we call implosion. There are only a few companies in the world qualified to do it. So the idea that somehow a plane hitting a building plus a fire would cause that building to come straight down. We're talking about over 300 steel columns, 47 core columns, over 200 columns around the perimeter. For the building to come down in a symmetrical way, so the building comes down as you see in the videos. All of those steel columns had to collapse simultaneously. For that to have occurred because of random fires throughout the buildings would be an absolute miracle. Furthermore, there are literally dozens of witnesses who report hearing explosions going off in the towers.
Another scientific proof would be that film shows us that every floor of that building is absolutely detonating by timing. All the poor fire department, the New York City Fire Department people, they were in the building listening to these explosions that were going off on time. A month or two before this happened, 3 or 4 of the bottom floors of 9/11 buildings were absolutely not accessible. So they were planning their detonation at that point. They were setting the fuses and they were doing it. To this point, to this day and age, basically it was a genocidal hit by somebody in an inside source. Okay.
Do you know about any conspiracy theories towards the 9/11 attacks?
I think there's a lot of different conspiracy theories, especially like the one about the Twin Towers, because the way it exploded and the way everything happened and the damage and the way it fell, they were thinking that when the planes came and crashed, it only crashed into one thing, but then it exploded lower and out, and so they can't explain how that happened.
The thing that I thought was the most believable out of all that was the smaller buildings around the 2 towers. If you watch the videos, they actually collapse just like they were intentionally imploded before anything falls on them, before any significant fire reaches them, like building 7 or whatever the numbers are, they just go boom and collapse, just like when you see a building intentionally blown up. So
of any specific conspiracy theories, but I do know that one main conspiracy theory was that Bush did have some involvement with 9/11. I do think that there were several prior notices to President Bush that he didn't take as seriously as he should have. And I think he could have known that something this detrimental could have happened to our country and didn't act on it.
Do you know about any conspiracy theories towards the 9/11 attacks?
Yes, Bush did 9/11.
What makes you believe that Bush did 9/11?
Well, the day of 9/11, he was reading a book to a class of children, and when he was informed that we were under attack, he didn't even hesitate. He just kept on reading the book. No, he didn't look worried at all, and it didn't seem to faze him.
Motherfucking Eagle Double G. Snoop Dogg. You know I'm mobbing with the D.R.E. Yeah. You know who's back up in this motherfucker. So blaze the weed up then.
I was sitting outside the classroom waiting to go in, and I saw an airplane hit the tower of a TV. You know, the TV was obviously on, and I used to fly myself, and I said, well, there's one terrible pilot. And it said it must have been a horrible accident.
So I've heard a theory that that maybe our own military flew a missile into the Pentagon because there were never any wings found at the site, and there wasn't any footage, even though there's security cameras all around probably. And there was just no wreckage of the plane that was ever found, and there was no spots where the wings could have flown into the building. There was just a small hole that
I wanted to make these videos because I was wondering what people thought about conspiracy theories, and I didn't know much about them myself. So in these interviews I actually learned a lot.
Yeah, and I feel like conspiracy theories are so popular because when there aren't answers to things, people want to create their own answers, and the conspiracy theories, they answer a lot of the questions that we don't know to, and even if they may not be exactly proven, they give like an answer, and that's what a lot of people look for in big events like this. And even though it might go against what the government tells you, that doesn't mean that we should always believe what they say. So I feel like the video really proved that, and it showed that a lot of people believe in the conspiracy theories.
They see me rolling, they hating, patrolling and trying to catch me riding dirty, 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 trying to catch me riding dirty.